Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cozy English Podcast, where learning English feels calm and easy. I'm Sophie.
Hello, Sophie. Hi, everyone. It is so wonderful to be here with you today. I am feeling very happy.
Hi, Mike. Oh, is that a new t-shirt?
Yes. Do you like it? I bought it on my trip last month.
I survived the Grand Canyon. You went to the Grand Canyon?
Yes, it was incredible. I forgot to tell you about it.
You forgot? Mike, the Grand Canyon is amazing. How do you forget that?
I know. We've been so busy with the podcast. But yes, I went for a week. Best trip ever.
Okay, you have to tell me everything. Where did you go? What did you see?
I will. But maybe this is a good topic for today's episode.
Oh, you're right. Travel stories, talking about holidays and trips.
Perfect. I can share my Grand Canyon story and everyone can learn how to talk about travel.
Exactly. And I have stories too. I went to Portugal last year.
See, we both have travel experiences to share.
So today, everyone, we're talking about travel, how to share your holiday stories, ask about trips, and talk about places you've visited.
This is going to be fun. Let's go.
Mike, why do you think people love talking about travel?
Because it's exciting. Travel is an adventure. We see new places, try new things.
Exactly. And everyone has travel stories. Even a weekend trip can be interesting.
Right. It doesn't have to be exotic. Even visiting another city is travel.
Absolutely. And asking about travel is a great conversation starter.
Have you traveled anywhere recently? Have you been on any trips lately?
Perfect questions. People love sharing their experiences. Okay, the most basic travel question is, where did you go?
So I answer with the place. I went to the Grand Canyon. I went to Portugal.
Exactly. You can add more details. I went to Italy for 2 weeks. I went to Thailand in December.
I went to Spain last summer.
You can also say, I visited Paris. I visited my family in Mexico.
I visited 3 cities in Germany.
Great. And if someone asks, where have you been recently? Notice the present perfect.
Oh yes, I've been to Iceland.
Exactly. Present perfect for experiences without specific time.
After where, people usually ask how long, right?
Yes. How long were you there, or how long did you stay?
I was there for a week. I stayed for 5 days.
Perfect. You can use for plus the duration for 3 days, for 2 weeks, for a month.
I stayed in Paris for 4 days.
Or you can say, I spent a week in Barcelona.
I spent 10 days traveling around Italy.
Excellent. Very natural. Next question people ask, who did you go with?
I went with my family. I went with friends. I went alone.
Perfect. You can be specific. I went with my sister. I went with my partner. I went with a tour group.
What if I went alone?
You say, I went by myself or I traveled solo. It's very common now.
And people usually ask, did you enjoy traveling alone?
Solo travel is interesting to people. You can say, it was great, very freeing, or it was nice, but I missed having company.
This is the fun part, telling what you did on the trip.
Yes, you use past simple. I visited museums. I went hiking. I tried local food.
I hiked down into the Grand Canyon. It was amazing.
See, everyone? Mike just shared an activity.
I also watched the sunrise, and I took hundreds of photos.
Beautiful. You're painting a picture with your words.
So I list activities. We visited the old town, we ate at local restaurants, we relaxed on the beach.
You can connect activities with and or also.
We saw the Eiffel Tower, and then we walked along the Seine.
Perfect. You're creating a story. When you talk about places you visited, use descriptive words. Beautiful, amazing, stunning, breathtaking, incredible, gorgeous.
The Grand Canyon was breathtaking.
Perfect. You can also describe the atmosphere, like the city was lively, the beach was peaceful, the town was charming.
Lisbon was so colorful and vibrant.
Yes, vibrant is a great word, full of energy and life.
The mountains were majestic.
Excellent. You can also compare. It was bigger than I expected. It was more crowded than I thought.
So I give my impressions.
Exactly. Your personal reaction makes the story interesting.
Food is always a big part of travel stories.
Always. What did you eat is a common question.
I tried authentic Mexican tacos. I ate fresh seafood every day. I had the best pizza of my life.
You always mention food, Mike.
Food is important. It's part of the culture.
You're right, and people love hearing about local food.
I tried food I'd never heard of. I ate at a tiny local restaurant.
You can describe the food. It was delicious, it was so fresh, it was spicy but amazing.
I tried snails for the first time. They were actually really good.
Brave! I haven't tried snails.
You should, when you travel.
Mike, what was the highlight of your Grand Canyon trip? The best moment?
Probably watching the sunset from the rim. The colors were unbelievable.
That sounds magical. See? That's a highlight.
The most memorable moment.
Exactly. People always ask, what was the best part, or what was your favorite thing?
The best part was snorkeling with sea turtles.
Oh, wow. Where was that?
That's just an example, but it sounds amazing, right?
It does. You can also say the highlight was seeing the northern lights.
My favorite part was meeting local people.
Beautiful. Highlights make your story memorable. Not everything in travel is perfect. Sometimes there are problems.
True. I got lost in the Grand Canyon parking lot for an hour.
Oh no, but that becomes a funny story.
It does. Now I can say, I got lost, but eventually I found my way.
I missed my flight. I got food poisoning. I lost my luggage.
But you make it sound like an adventure, not a disaster.
Right. It was stressful, but we figured it out. It was frustrating, but we laughed about it later.
Oh, the weather was terrible, but we still had fun.
Perfect. You're being honest, but positive.
Sophie, what questions should we ask when someone mentions a trip?
Start with the basics. Where did you go? How long were you there? Who did you go with?
And how was it? Simple but effective.
Yes, then follow-up questions. What did you do there? What was the best part? Did you try any local food?
Would you go back? Would you recommend it?
Excellent questions. They show you're interested.
And people love talking about their trips, so they'll tell you everything.
Very true. Some people won't stop. If you loved a place, you can recommend it.
You should definitely visit the Grand Canyon. It's incredible.
Perfect. Strong recommendation. You can also say it's worth visiting. I highly recommend it. You'd love it there.
If you ever go to Arizona, you have to see the Grand Canyon.
And if someone asks, what should I do there, you can give tips.
Make sure you see the sunrise. Don't miss the hiking trails. Try to stay overnight.
Great advice. You're being helpful. Okay, Mike, now tell us properly about your Grand Canyon trip.
Okay, so I went for a week in October. I flew to Phoenix, then drove to the Grand Canyon.
Who did you go with?
I went with my cousin. He lives in Phoenix, so he showed me around.
Interesting. What did you do?
We hiked, we camped, we watched the sunrise and sunset. The views were absolutely stunning. I've never seen anything like it.
It sounds amazing. What was your favorite part?
Probably standing on the edge, looking down into the canyon. It's so deep, it makes you feel so small.
Wow. Did you take lots of photos?
Hundreds, but photos don't do it justice. You have to see it in person.
That's how I felt about Portugal. The photos were beautiful, but being there was different.
Exactly. The feeling, the atmosphere, the scale, you can't capture that. Tell us about Portugal, Sophie.
I went last summer for 10 days. I visited Lisbon, Porto, and some small towns.
Alone or with someone?
With my best friend. We'd been planning it for years.
Nice. What did you love most?
Everything. The colors, the tiles on the buildings, the food, the music. Porto was so charming.
What did you eat?
Pastéis de nata every day, those custard tarts, so delicious, and fresh seafood and port wine in Porto.
Of course, you had port wine in Porto.
It was mandatory, and the people were so friendly. Everyone was helpful.
Would you go back?
Absolutely, in a heartbeat. I want to explore more of the country. We can also talk about future trips, like where do you want to go next?
Oh, I want to go to Japan. I've always wanted to visit.
Interesting. What do you want to do there?
Visit Tokyo, see Mount Fuji, try real sushi, visit temples.
Let's practice a travel conversation. You ask me about a trip.
Okay. Hey, Sophie, have you traveled anywhere recently?
Yes, I just got back from a weekend in the mountains.
Oh, nice. Where exactly?
A small town in the Alps. It was beautiful.
What did you do there?
We went hiking, we relaxed in a spa, and we ate amazing food. It was so peaceful.
How long were you there?
Just 3 days, but it felt longer. Very relaxing.
I'd love to go. Would you recommend it?
Definitely. It's perfect if you want to escape the city.
I'll consider it. Thanks.
See, everyone? Natural back and forth.
Questions and answers showing interest.
Exactly. Let's review the most useful travel phrases.
Yes.
Basic info. I went to, I stayed for, I went with.
Activities. I visited, I saw, I tried, we explored.
Descriptions. It was beautiful, breathtaking, incredible, charming.
Questions. Where did you go? How was it? What was the best part?
Recommendations. You should visit. It's worth it. I highly recommend it.
These cover most travel conversations.
They do. Everyone, we hope this episode helps you share your travel stories in English. Tell us, where's the most interesting place you've visited? Where do you want to go?
Share your travel stories in the comments. We'd love to hear them.
And practice these phrases when you talk about your trips.
Travel gives us wonderful stories to share. Look, this is from the South Rim. The sky was orange and pink.
Oh, Mike, this is gorgeous. You should print this.
You think so?
Absolutely. Frame it. Put it on your wall.
Maybe I will. And look at this one with the...
Mike, we can look at all your photos after the podcast.
Oh, right. Sorry, I got carried away.
This is what happens when people start showing vacation photos.
But they're really good photos.
I'm sure they are. Show me all of them later.
Deal.
Well, everyone, Mike is going to show me 200 Grand Canyon photos now.
400.
400. This will take hours. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.